So as a company, especially as a SaaS company with a new product or a new category that nobody's actively looking for right now, right? So to give you an example, like blue t-shirts, I think there's maybe 1 million people today that would look for blue t-shirts. So it makes sense to advertise in Google to capture that existing demand. But if there were only 10 people looking in Google every day for blue t-shirts, it doesn't really make sense to advertise on Google because you can only get 10 clicks. There are no more. So you need to go to the audience, which you do on social media, organizing events, creating a community, putting content out there, starting conversations on social media, in DMs. That's what you need to do. So you need to create demand before you can even capture it. And that's the reality of most software organizations or most startups, is that there is no demand for their product. But there is an audience typically with a problem. I hope you identified. So it's a bit like sort of managing a team of football players. On the defense, you have the demand creation side of things, putting posts out there, creating ads, sharing articles, creating content, doing webinars, events, all that stuff. And then you have your offense players, which is more your demand capture tactics like Google advertising, retargeting, review sites. Now, a good coach or a good manager of a football team, that person is not looking at the scoreboard to decide whether or not they're playing a good game, right? This person is looking at the players. Is the ball rolling? Are we in control of the game? But in marketing, all these tactics are being measured on the amount of leads it generated. And it really needs to stop. And this is something that people need to understand. So in order to run modern marketing operations, you also need 2 types of KPIs. I have been stuck in marketing meetings my whole life reporting on channel efficiency. So it was a spreadsheet or a dashboard. How many leads from Facebook? How many leads from LinkedIn? How many leads from Google? How many leads from this? How many leads from that? And then how much did we spend on Facebook? How much did we spend on LinkedIn? And then every month, every quarter, a manager would come in and say, seems like Google is our most efficient marketing channel. Let's cut costs, let's cut the budget in all the other channels because obviously it's not helping us get new leads into the pipeline. And then you turn off those social ads and you turn off those content programs, and what happens 2 months later? The pipeline dries up because nobody is actively getting exposed to your proposition, so nobody is going to Google to search for it. There are many different KPIs or whatever you want to call it, you can track for demand creation, but we typically call them signals because they're not as quantitative as in the demand capture side of things. But a few that we think at Amute are really cool. So let's say you run LinkedIn ads, you set up your ads account-based, so you upload a list of companies that you want to target. LinkedIn actually provides a really nice insight in how engaged the companies are within that list with your proposition and how many members are being targeted. It's a manual report that you need to pull, but you can filter it on from 1 to 5 as an engagement level. And we typically see that when a company hits 4 or 5, they're very much interested in your product. So it could make sense to then reach out in a casual way. And all the ones that haven't reached that engagement level, you just leave them alone. What's also interesting, how you can measure your demand creation program is the amount of people that convert on your website within 30 seconds or within 45 seconds after first visiting your website, which means that they understood your proposition before even visiting your website. When this starts to happen, you've done your job really well as a marketer, because people literally only use your website to identify whether or not it's the brand that they kept seeing on social media, and then they want to get in touch with sales. And on the bottom side, I wouldn't recommend looking to sort of cost per lead type of things. It will steer you in the wrong direction. No leads are created equal, and 1 lead could mean, 100,000 euros in revenue. 5 leads could mean 10,000 euros in revenue, right? It's not a solid number to keep track of. I much rather look at qualified pipeline, so the people that actually enter the sales process and what potential value they represent. Sales cycle length, typically you see that when your marketing programs are working well, that the sales cycle length shortens. We've been working with a B2B SaaS company for over 3 years, and we keep seeing that all the deals that are exclusively worked on by outbound sales, they take 3 times longer than the opportunities that book a demo and then enter the sales process, which is just mind-blowing, because 3 times longer means 3 times more time from sales to actually work on the same type of deals. So if you can shorten that, you can work more deals with the same team, and you don't have to hire more sales reps. So these old school lead gen KPIs, we all know them, like Google for lead generation KPIs, and then the first ranking blog article, that's absolutely what you should not track. I'm positive about that. And guess, as a final note, never push your opportunities, but just keep bringing value to them and be consistent about it. Be patient and let them come. You can grow your business.